Let's do it.
Hey, it's Bryan with DD214 Transport. Please like, subscribe, and hit the little bell for notifications. Let's throw this up here real quick. This is our lease on and dispatch information. So if you need either, you please reach out, fill out the little contact sheet, and we'll reach out back to you. All right. Tonight, the nightmare. Jesus Christ, people. I'm going to start right now. This week has been, I swear to God, every owner's fears. I'm going to be talking about a driver that came to us with 6 years semi CDL experience, and it was one driver, 1 week, total hell, and a total disaster. So that's what we're going to go through tonight. We have guests. We have Jan, who is a driver with us, and we have Robert back. I'm looking for Roman to be back. He's a friend of mine that has years of OTR and semi experience. We're going to be talking. So I want your guys' comments. Understand that I'm not going to name any names. I will not show any pictures of this person. What I am going to do, though, is I'm going to use this as a learning experience, something that I learned so that maybe you don't have to. So stick around. The show's coming. We got some great guests. And yeah, before we get it going, we're going to thank our veterans and first responders for all they do and all they continue to do out there. Now, I will tell you, late news this afternoon, Charlie Kirk is a right-wing activist. He was assassinated today. And guys, that's not how we do things in this country. If you don't like what somebody says, you don't have to listen to them. But guys, you don't do that kind of stuff, man. That is just some crazy shit right there. All right, fuel prices. We're ooching up on some fuel prices. We're at 376.6 national average. I saw it. I had the new guy in town. We sold at 299, and when I saw it, I yelled at him. I said, I'd have killed 3 people for that 299 getting over there. I said, I'm going to tell you now. He didn't stop, but I think he's dreading it now. Now that fuel price is up 3.2 cents from last week. News effective September 30th, guys. I don't know how many people do this, but the FMCSA will no longer accept paper checks, basically, such as a check or a money order for any agency transactions, including fees for initial applications of operating authority, registration, reinstatements, legal name changes, civil penalty payments, or other fee-based transactions. So you're not going to be able to mail them a check. All right. FMCSA, again, ditches MC numbers. What the carriers must know, guys, pay attention to this. Carriers will no longer need an MC number for interstate operation. meaning all regulatory and safety records will be tied exclusively to the DOT number. Carriers will still need to maintain an active authority, though. You just don't have to post it. None of your paperwork is going to have the MC number on it. It's going to be basically an in-house number for the FMCSA. So as you're looking at your stuff, you might want to go down and look at your permits, your contracts, your insurance policies, and anything else that's referencing your MC. Okay? All right, picture of the week. Here's James. That's a good looking tarp load, James. That's a good looking tarp load. And this is Jan. Jan's on with us tonight. This is his, just looks like a mini container of some sort. Looks good. We've got Jerry. That's a big turbine is what that is. He had to tarp that beast too. All right, so here's our newest guy that jumped on. This is Anthony. He's been coming through the ranks this week with me, running you know, the load securement deal and the trucking deal in general. He had trucking experience years and years and years ago, but then went into banking, and now he's back to trucking. Sometimes you just can't get it out of your blood, but there he is. We welcome him. He did agree with me that going through this load securement thing is a lot like taking a big sip of water out of a fire hydrant. So welcome aboard, sir. All right. Picture of the week. Here's Anthony's first tarp load. We actually did this morning. I followed him down, gave him some pointers. Just, you know, when you go through the load securement training, we try to give you a little bit of everything. So, you know, today was a tarp load. He ran it down to Augusta. He's back for tomorrow. We're going to hit it again tomorrow. I asked dispatch to get us something with chains so we can go through that. Oh, here's Robert. Robert's on with us tonight. And here's his big load. That's a dandy there, man. Whew, I don't know if that truck's going to handle it. But yeah, that's Robert's load. So I think that's our pictures of the week. And now we're coming up on this thing. Before we dive into this real deep, let me run over here real quick. I want to say hi to everybody. We got Miss Mila in the house. We got So Truckin' Ugly is back. Trevor F. Hello. Robert Kynes. Look who showed up. We miss you. So we got Steve. Howdy. James Copeland and Robert Kynes. James. Oh, they're chatting in there. Sorry. Let me get off that. I have to get off that really quick or I get yelled at. So, all right. So back to this. Let me tell you something. I'm going to go down the script, and I may come off script for a minute, but this week was absolutely hell. I don't know any better way to say it. So here we go. All right. Picture this. You hire a driver. I really don't hire drivers. I lease on a driver. So I leased on a driver. Come to me with 6 years semi CDL experience. On paper, looks solid as a rock. Knows how to drive. Shouldn't be a problem, right? You figure, finally a driver that you don't have to handhold. You know, he's got this shit down. Wrong. Dead wrong. Wrong. So, yeah, could never have been more wrong. In one single week, 7 damn days, this driver, this guy, cost me thousands. Damaged my equipment, racked up safety violations, and damn near gave me a heart attack. So let me break this down for you, okay? One day, okay, day one, first time out, he hits debris in the road, damages my truck. There's money straight out the gate. And I get it, guys. He hit a road gator. If you don't know what that is, it's a big piece of peeled off tire. You have to pay attention, look ahead, and avoid that kind of stuff. So, okay, accidents happen. I took it with a grain of salt. I tried to let it slide, and we just moved forward. Okay. Next, he puts gasoline, $175 worth of gasoline in my diesel truck. Yeah, you heard me right. 6 years CDL experience, and he doesn't know the difference at the pump. Gasoline. The truck had to be towed, and the tanks had to be pumped out. This mistake will likely cost me thousands of dollars in downtime, and currently it has a check engine light that's come on that we can't get out of, that's showing a fuel rail system. If it's the fuel rail system that burn out because this guy is that's going to be $4,000. It's going to be $4,000. So, yeah. But it doesn't stop there, guys. The gifts just keep on giving. He stops. Listen to me. Listen to me. He stops on the interstate, not the shoulder, the interstate, to help a crash victim. Now, that's noble, right? Except he damn near got himself and others killed and placed my equipment in danger in the process. A box truck almost hit him and took out all his triangles. That's how close this crash was to happening. Now we got to buy more safety gear on top of everything else. The next morning I wake up and I see his ELD showing him driving at 78 miles an hour. Now, can you imagine if the insurance company, he would have got hit by that box truck, and then the insurance company gets this 78 mile an hour notice off his ELD? They'd have ate me alive on that shit. But here's the part that really blew my mind, because CDL, semi driving experience. This is what I took from what I was given. Okay. And again, pull his PSP, you pull his drug, you pull his MVR, it's clean. Something you need to know about us, the guys that are coming on here will confirm it, but we are not a forced dispatch company. We don't do that. What we do is, from the area you are sitting in, we offer you loads from that area. Okay. Whatever's there. We don't make freight. Whatever's there. So we offered him a clean, solid load. 1 pick, 2 drops to Williamstown, New York by Friday before 5. Then a final drop on Monday. It was 885 miles, 7,200 pounds, easy money. That's easy money. $2,200. That's a straight profit run. The kind of freight any real driver jumps on. Williamstown is upstate New York. It's up near the Canadian line. So that's what we offered him. You know what he did? He turned that load down. Instead, he takes a load to downtown New York City, Louisville to Westbury. If you know anything about New York City, Westbury sits right between Manhattan and Long Island. Okay? That is insane. That is straight downtown. So he took that load for less money. And if you've ever crossed the GW Bridge, that's $110. Now, this was $2,050 and 789 miles. Same work, harder conditions, less pay. That's not just a mistake, guys. That's a driver who doesn't understand freight, that doesn't understand business, and sure as hell doesn't understand what keeps a trucking company alive. Okay? You're going downtown New York, ain't going to do it. I think I got a couple maps here for you. Here's the load he refused, all the way up near the Canadian border. No city. It's all country driving, just an easy interstate run. No big deal. Look at this. Less money, load taken, 20 downtown New York City. Long Island to the right, New York City to the left. You have Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, the Bronx, all that. Right there is where he went. So it's just crazy. Oh, hang on. And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, he high centers a trailer and destroys a toolbox. At this point, I'm bleeding money, losing time, and questioning how the hell somebody with 6 years of experience could be so reckless and have no more spatial, aware, has no idea where he's at and what's going on around him. Now, guys, take heed, everybody that's listening, because this might have been the most fatal miscalculation he made. This is it right here. I'm going to assure you. And that most fatal calculation, everybody's got their ears on, I hope. He calls me pissed off, blaming me for his mistakes. Like I'm the one out there misfueling, overspeeding, wrecking toolboxes, and turning down good freight. I told him straight up, you may not be cut out for this business, because here's the truth. Bad judgment, bad attitude, and no accountability will sink a company faster than fuel prices ever could. Okay? That is a fact. This is the nightmare week that every owner fears. One driver, one hire in less than 7 days, they can cost you everything. That's what today's episode is all about. That's what we're here talking about. How do we protect ourselves from this? How do we see through the lies? Or look, even if it wasn't lies, what are the right questions? What is the right questions I need to ask so this never happens again? And most importantly, how do we keep our business safe from one bad hire? When one bad hire can wreck everything we've built. Okay? How do you do it? I'm looking for answers, guys. So please reach out. So let's talk about this. Okay? Let me tell you, we have great guys on here tonight. I have Jan Peterson. Scott, I'm sorry. He's a driver, been with us, driver and company owner, been with us now for 5 or 6 months. We've got Robert. He's part of the 10% Club. And I have one of my best friends in the whole world, is Roman Moses. Okay, or Moses Roman. I call him Roman. He is a CDL driver who has been out there. He's drove over the road. He's drove containers. He's drove local P&D. And he's now back to running containers. And he's gonna pipe in here for a minute. All right. Now, before I go too much further here, I want to show you, before we go any further, when I tell you that this guy stopped on the highway, I'm going to show you the video off the truck cam. Okay, so let's look at this real quick. All right. Talk about it a little bit. All right, first up on the stage is Jan. Sir, how are you? Hey, Jan, your audio's off.
Not anymore.
Hey, there you go. Jan is from Denmark. He's been with us 5 or 6 months. He's got 25 years of over-the-road experience, and we appreciate him being here. And I'm going to bring on Robert. Hey, buddy. Glad you could make it, man.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Robert's part of the 10% Club. And we've got Roman. Hey, Romy Rolio. There's
Hello.
my buddy Roman. Roman's definitely 10%er. I mean, we did 10 years together. So
Yeah.
So what do you think, guys? I'm going to start with Jan up there. What do you think where we're at so far? Now, this isn't a bashing session, so we don't want to bash it, but we do want to point out the errors and what's happened.
Well, I would say that I can see you in a tough spot because you try to help the guy, and you can only go by what you can look up. You can read the guy. You can see that there's nobody home, basically.
You know, the guy's a business owner, just like you.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you have a diesel vehicle, you should know the difference between a gas pump and a diesel pump, first of all. And if you do have 6-7 years experience in a semi, you should know what it takes to drive. And one thing you don't hit in a semi is a piece of tire laying on the road. So if you don't have your focus on the road, then you don't have the experience to drive.
Right. My guess is when he was running semi, he's running a local just around a specific area, and he knew every bump in the road. And, you know, hey, Roman, turn your mic on, brother. There
Sorry,
you go. Hey, buddy.
Walmart parking lot here, so I didn't want background noise.
Nah, you're good. Hey, listen, what do you think about this? You saw this.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts? What do you think of that parking on the road?
Well, that's just a bad move, you know. I don't want to call anybody dumb or nothing, but that's sort of you should know better, having experience. But I also wanted to say I think this is a good example that not all experience is created equally.
Very nice. That's absolutely that's an not all experiences created equally. We need to post that. That should have been the name of this section.
Well, you could have 6 years, like you said, maybe it's local, running a route around town. And then you have experience, you know, car haulers and flatbeds, and there's all kinds of different things we can do in this industry. And just because you have 6 years or 10 years, it doesn't mean you have experience in this hot-shotting gig. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. Robert?
Yeah,
what are you thinking, man?
Clearly there's a difference between driving a semi and a hotshot rig. You know, we're designed to fill a gap in the market. It's, you know, less than full loads, smaller loads, not as heavy, using equipment that's just different. And, you know, but I think fundamentally, though, Bryan, for me, I would skin in the game. You know, if he's driving somebody else.
I lost you, brother. Sorry. So let's run it back over here to Jan. You got another thought, man? You had that look on your face. I can hear you now. I can't see you.
I can follow in what Robert is saying, that there's a big difference. But if you go out and make the investment, you want to start your own thing. You buy a pickup, you buy a trailer, and you claim you have experience in a semi. Treat your rig like a semi.
Right. Exactly. Every turn is squared. Your following distance doesn't change.
No, it don't.
You're running 40,000 pounds down the road, guys, and you don't have the brakes the semi's got, and you're missing an axle. So you have to treat it exactly like a semi. So I have couple more things I want to bring up here. So the problem with experience is this. Now let's talk about the word experience, because this right here is the heart of the problem. 6 years CDL. Sounds good on paper, doesn't it? You'd think a man who's been behind the wheel that long knows what he's doing. But here's the reality. 6 years of local work doesn't mean you're ready for over the road. It's two different worlds.
Yeah.
Local, you're home every night, you're hitting the same customers, same routes, same fuel stops, same routine. OTR, you're out there on your own. You're making judgment calls daily in strange cities under pressure with no safety net. And that's where the cracks show. That's where you find out if a driver is truly professional or just holding a CDL license. So let's run through that scenario a minute. I think we covered it with Roman's statement when he said, not all experience is the same experience. I mean, that's just the way it is. And I'm so disappointed in myself for not realizing that and not asking the tough questions, not asking, what kind of driving have you done for 6 years? Have you ever fueled up at a truck stop? Do you know how it even works?
Yeah.
So I feel like I kind of let myself down with this situation because I saw it to be easy. I saw that to be something that, no hand holding, I can get him on the road and we can roll. But that's totally kicked me right in the nutsack is what it did. It just kicked me. If you ever been behind a horse and you smack it, then you know what it feels like. And I've been on edge and standing on my head now for over a week with this mess. Rome, have you ever stopped your tractor trailer in the middle of the road?
No.
You on?
Nope.
Okay. I was just checking. You ever stuck diesel? Or I'm sorry, you ever stuck gasoline in your diesel tank?
Nope.
Okay. I'm just checking because he said to me, well, who hadn't done that? He said that to me.
Yeah. I think this guy was just a bad driver overall. His experience or whatever, his resume might have looked well. I think just him personally, he's probably been lucky the last 6 years, and he sounds just like a bad driver. But I wanted to say about you saying you felt bad about all this, and I think this is a good humbling experience
I'm
actually,
humble.
because it's like you said, the resume says one thing, but reality says another, and you have to get into the details what some of this stuff, because what kind of experience matters here. So it would have been nice to know, well, what kind of local stuff did you do? What were you doing? Because
And those questions, don't worry, my question list just got a lot longer. I'm not stepping in that again. I'll tell you now, because you're absolutely correct. What I did was saw CDL semi, and I thought, okay,
and theoretically that should be easy.
That should be an easy do, and that's not what happened. Look, what I've realized is that, just like you said, Roman, not all experience is the same experience. If you drive around one little area and you're running to the same customers all the time, and you know the roads, and if you fuel at the shop all the time, you don't know anything. OTR is a total different thing. You are out there.
That's a whole different lifestyle.
Yep, it's a totally
that's not even just a different experience of working local to that's a lifestyle change you're talking about.
That's the lifestyle change. That is correct.
Yeah.
Are you back with me, Robert?
Yeah,
I got you. Go, fire away.
So I was just going to say, skin in the game. If he's driving your equipment, he didn't pay for the equipment, that's a big deal. I mean, I know that I used to see it all the time. Previous companies I worked for, trucks were assigned to specific people, and that they would tend to take care of those trucks a little better than trucks that would bounce around from different people. But in this line of work, the truck and the trailer, your livelihood, and it's just, I think it's difficult to ask somebody to take care of it like it should really be taken care of if they don't have skin in the game. That's what I would have.
Well, I think that comes to character as well.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
when I'm going to tell you something. If you loan me something, I'm going to take care of it better than I take care of my own stuff, because I don't want to. Number one, I don't want to have to pay for it, and number two, it's just the way you do things. You try to take care of other people's stuff much better than you take care of your own. All right, so we're going to jump up here real quick, and the next step will be this: the real cost of a bad driver. Okay, so let's break this down. In 1 week, this guy cost me unknown fuel system repairs at this point for putting gas in that diesel tank. I know that when he drove out of here, I had just gotten it out of the shop. It was all freshly done. Now I've got a check engine light with a fuel rail problem. Okay. We got a damaged toolbox. You got destroyed triangles. You got downtime that you can never get back. Okay. And now there's a scar on his ELD for speeding, but it's not just the money, guys. It's not. It's the risk. It's the DOT inspections, the insurance premiums, your safety score, my reputation with the brokers. A driver like this doesn't just hurt today. He sets up for problems down the road. If I let this kind of behavior slide and suddenly, your company or our company starts looking like a liability instead of a partner. And that's something I'm seriously concerned about, is our reputation. I mean, we built a very good company here, and we work hard to make sure our reputation is clean and we do things the right way. But when you I'm going to be honest with you. I just, at this point, I'm at wit's end with this. And I don't know that I want to continue to be upset and angry over this guy. So, he started a business. He acts like an employee, but he started a business. He had somebody that was willing to help him. And growing up, I was always told you don't bite the hand that feeds you. And you damn sure don't start bitching at me at 8 o'clock at night. I can goddamn guarantee you that. No. So, if you can't take accountability for your actions, that becomes another character flaw. So, all right. So let's jump up on, I think I just did this one. I'm going to have to put it up here real quick. Yeah, the real cost. All right, so this is a business blind spot. Let's talk about the freight decision. Okay, now he's got his own company. He's picking and choosing freight out there that's available. Because this is where I really lost my patience. I handed him a solid or dispatch. I don't dispatch. Dispatch handed him a solid $2,200 load for 885 miles. Light freight, 2 drops, clean run upstate New York, easy money. But no. He refuses it, takes a harder, dirtier load to New York City for less pay, $2,050. Now, for those listening who aren't in trucking, let me break this down to you a little bit. This is not just poor judgment. This is a driver who doesn't understand the business that he is in. Trucking is about margins. It's about keeping the wheels rolling smart, not just rolling. And when you've got a driver who can't tell the difference between a good load and a bad load, you don't just have a problem, you got a liability. Okay? This guy goes in to the Manhattan area, to the Long Island area. If you don't know, the GW Bridge is about $110 to cross it. Okay? If you don't know, that's what it costs. So you take this and you look at the totality of it all, and it just makes your head spin. Why would you not take a minute before you turn down a load and open a map to see where you're at, to see where it's going? Or why would you not open a map to see where the hell Manhattan is? It's there on the map. All you got to do is look at it. All you got to do, you got Google right there. All you got to do is type in the address. It'll show you where you're going. But you don't. And how does that work? How does that work for a businessman? How is that going to work for this gentleman as time goes on? Okay, what do you think, Ron?
I think that when you're riding around local all day, what it probably is a dedicated route he's probably had, and you go to deciding what load you should take upstate versus the city. Well, what is the city? You know, he doesn't know. We know because we have experience, and we know you don't go to New York City. That the toll alone is like, it's ridiculous. But when you're riding around local all day, you don't know that, and so it's his resume says one thing, but the reality is completely different.
Yeah. So, Jan, what you think?
Well, I did accept the load to Long Island with 3 stops. And I would have to say, if I was offered those 2 loads, I would say I would take the upstate and I will go for 1,800. I'll do what I can to stay out of anything related to New York.
Right.
The traffic, the road condition, everything is a red flag for me.
Yeah. 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 I mean, that should have just been open up Google and look at where where it's at. And if it's sliding upstate, man, that's where you go.
That's
you go
where you go.
on
Absolutely.
an easy route.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, all right. So here's our next piece is attitude factor. All right, guys, I need some thought process on this from everybody. If you got questions back in the group over there, we want to be sure we get those up. Now, listen, mistakes happen. I get it. I've made mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Even good drivers mess up once in a while. But what separates a professional from a liability is accountability. You make a mistake, you own it. You learn from it. I made a mistake here, and I'm trying to learn from it. Don't point fingers. Don't blame dispatch. Don't say you sent me here when nobody sent you anywhere. You chose. But damn sure don't call me and raise hell, because that's not going to get you anywhere. So the gentleman did it with his own 2 hands. And instead of stepping up, this driver turned on me. That's when I knew we weren't just dealing with bad luck. We're dealing with a bad character flaw, and a bad character is poison in this business. Now, today, this particular driver is back, and I will tell you right now, the first thing he said to the new driver, Anthony, was, "They sent me to New York on my first run." That's what he said.
How did Bryan? Can you hear me now? How did that go down? I mean, did dispatch offered him the first load? He refused it. Then
Yes.
That other load came and he decided to take it to New York.
Correct.
So the real question is, was he holding out? I mean, did he think that the first load just was insufficient given the weight, the size of the load, and how many miles it was, that he was holding out to try to make more money? So
no, he didn't want to hold the load over the weekend, he said. That's what he told me.
Well, I mean, that's what we do. So he didn't know.
No shit, right?
I mean, we try
but
to
do
do
if you don't
we
know,
can.
Robert, if you have no idea how this business works, you don't know.
That's right. You don't know. And it does take a little bit, it takes some, you can't have a preconceived notion if you're just getting into it. You have to roll with it for a little while. And if you have to have a load for the weekend, so be it. I mean, what do you have plans? You got to get home? Well, then, yeah, you don't need to be doing this. You can't.
Yeah.
You have to commit, and you have to be available full time while you're working. And if you can create the circumstances to get the load off your trailer on a Saturday, that's great. If you call ahead,
you never know. He could have offloaded it on a Saturday.
You got to call.
He had a Friday drop and a Monday drop. You don't know.
You don't know. Yeah, you don't know. But I mean, what are you going to do? Drive up there to upstate, almost to Canada, and you think you're going to offload everything on Friday and make it back home before Sunday evening for dinner? I mean, that's not the way this works.
Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking.
That's just.
But I do know that going to New York City is not something a rookie should do.
Yeah,
but again, we can only offer the loads from your area wherever you're at. That's what we do. We will offer you a load. We're not forced dispatching you. You take it or you don't take it.
Well, I'll tell you what I did. I had never been to New York. They called with a load to New York. Dispatch did. And I had a friend. I said, give me 2 minutes. Hung up the phone. I had a friend who'd been in the trucking business. Called him. He pointed out to me, yeah, man, you're going to pay $100 at least probably one way on that bridge.
Yeah.
I called dispatch back. I said, look, it's a $200 toll to get on and off the island. You tell the broker that if he increases the price $150, $200, then I'll go do it. And he did. He decided to pay for the toll. So
but
it made the
got
mileage.
To know.
That's right. Made the mileage and everything work out. The second time, I knew where I was going. I knew what the tolls were. It made it easier to accept the load. And fortunately, knock on wood, I've been up there a couple times and made decent money doing it.
Oh, yeah. You're the Northeast king, brother. You're always up in that area.
Yeah. I mean, I've been running around and going out to Long Island. Yeah. Is it a chore? Yeah. But if you can get compensated for it, that's fine.
Right.
I mean,
my question is this. I have you guys, I want, Jan, you pipe in whenever you're ready to pipe in. Okay. I don't want to call on people. You guys just talk. But one of the things I have a question about is spatial awareness.
Right.
It doesn't seem like he knows where he's at or what his truck's doing.
Yeah. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that load that was going to New York, he was picking up within a 20-mile radius of where he was. So that might have factored into his decision.
He didn't have them both at the same time, though, Roman. He turned the first one down before the second one. We normally don't. I mean, we could have multiple loads, but not normally like that. And
You're
you're
not
right, it could have
normally,
been a factor.
they don't call me and say, "Do you want this load or this load?"
Right.
It's you look at the load that's presented, and then you make a decision. Yes, this is good for me, or no, I'm going to pass. And knowing that we're all just out here waiting for, looking for the market to treat us correctly.
Yep.
And I would take that opportunity also, Bryan. You showed that nifty little picture of that little box on my trailer. Thanks for showing that. Like I'm hauling. But I would say dispatch has completely recovered from that. And at this point in time, I actually have 3 loads on my trailer, going a long way, and so I'm happy.
Yeah.
But do you know for sure you take the first load for, peanuts, and then you're like, man, I hope we can pick up something else along the way. And if you do, great. If the market throws that at you, fine. If not, you have to be prepared to live with the decision that you made from the beginning. And that's all there is to it.
Well, I want to tell you something. Dispatch teams, you guys can say whatever you want. You're more than welcome to. Moses won't know this, but the rest of you will. Them boys work their asses off, and they're working at night, and they are rocking. So you guys can talk about that a second.
I know I appreciate the heck out of them. I really do, because it's a difficult. I can't imagine, especially if you tell somebody head this direction, and they think they've got a lead on a good load and it should work out and everything, and then something changes. If you're not flexible in this business, it's not good. You're not going to do well.
Right.
You have to go where the load boards take you, and that's one thing I really like about it. You never know exactly where you're going to be, and that's pretty neat.
The only thing constant in trucking is change.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is for sure.
Yeah.
That is.
I do have 2 cents I want to throw in here.
Yes, sir.
We have our cutoff. We're turning in the paperwork.
Yes.
Thursday morning. One thing I don't understand is, why would he turn down a load delivery on a Friday and a Monday?
That's beautiful, isn't it?
Our cutoff is Thursday morning. If he deliver on a Friday afternoon and a Monday morning, that is the first earning for the following week.
Right.
So you don't turn down a load that you have to sit under over the weekend.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it could be 9 or 10 Monday morning before you got the next load.
Right. Right.
And if he had 2
Monday.
drops, I don't know how far apart the drops were, but if it could have taken him drop off on a Friday and then run as far as you can on that Friday. And if you don't make it to the drop off point on that Friday, then you've got that Saturday to get all the way to the drop off where you're going to be there Monday.
Yeah,
Exactly.
You're close. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So you don't really, even if it has to sit on your trailer over the weekend, a lot of times you can advance the load on the Saturday if you've got hours left, which normally we do.
Right.
And we can utilize that time to advance the load and get right next to where it's going to drop on Monday morning. And then you're set up to drop and go pick up first thing Monday morning.
Yeah.
And that's kind of ideal. That's ideal.
Yeah. Well, all right, let me throw this up here real quick. You guys get your thought process going. We're going to hit it real quick, okay? Here we go. Here's the bottom line. A CDL don't mean shit without common sense, accountability, and professionalism. I don't care if you've had your license in your pocket for 6 years or 16. If you can't fuel a truck right, if you can't handle freight smart, if you can't respect the responsibility of a 40,000 pounds rolling down the road or the highway, then you don't belong in this industry, period. And for my fellow business owners, okay? You guys are business owners out there. This lesson is for you. Don't get blinded by the years on paper. Dig deeper. Ask the right questions. Test their judgment before you hand them a set of keys. If I'd have known what I know now, I'd never let him drive that truck. Because I'm telling you, one bad hire can bleed you dry faster than a breakdown or a bad broker ever could. This week damn near drove me over the edge. I lost thousands of dollars. It stressed me through the roof. And all because a driver with experience turned out to be nothing but a liability. That's why I call this the nightmare week every trucking owner fears, because it only takes one. One driver, 1 week, and everything we build can be on the line. So here's my message. Protect your company. Protect your equipment. Protect your sanity, because mine's gone. Don't just look at the driver's license. Look at the man behind it, because at the end of the day, it's not the miles, it's not the years, it's not even the freight rates that make or break us. It's judgment, it's accountability, it's attitude. Without those, you've got nothing but a CDL and a disaster waiting to happen. Now, this is my nightmare week. I lived it. I learned from it so that you guys don't have to. And for my fellow business owners out there, this is a lesson. Don't get blinded by years on paper. Dig deeper, ask the right questions, test their judgment before you hand them the keys, because I'm telling you, it could all be over in a minute. This damn week drove me to the edge. The new hire, the new lease on, Jason told me I looked like I'd been drinking this morning. First time he met me. I've got a filter on this thing now just because the black under my eyes are terrible. It's terrible. So, I lost thousands. I stressed through the roof, and all because a driver with experience turned out to be a liability. That's why I call this the nightmare week from hell. All right. So here's my message. Protect your company, protect your equipment, protect your sanity. Okay. Look at the man behind it. It's the attitude. It's the character, it's the judgment that we're looking for. All right. We've got to have those. Now, guys, I have to tell you, at the end of the day, I'm tired. I've got a new driver in here I'm working with every day. I'm dealing with this situation, and I'm still dealing with all the other drivers out there. And I love them to death, man. I'm here for you. But it only takes one situation that will absolutely run your shit in the ground. And then you're standing there like, oh, what do I do next? What's happening? Now, I got some of the greatest guys on here tonight. I love them. Jan, you sound like Dr. Pole. If you haven't seen if you haven't seen that show, man, you got to watch that show. It's awesome. Moses, you're one of my dearest friends. I know you really fretted about being here, but I very, very much appreciate it.
It was fun.
Robert, you're part of the 10% club, brother, and you're smart. So what I'd like to do is let's talk among ourselves here just for a couple minutes, because I'm out of topics. I'd like you guys to talk for a minute. We can go around the horn. Robert, did you learn anything from my gig?
Yeah, it's apparent to me this new hire that had all these problems is just a mismatch. I mean, the fuel thing, he's got muscle memory when he's driving his personal truck. If it's a gas motor and he's getting out of a pickup instead of getting out of a semi, maybe. I mean, I'm not trying to make excuses, but that I could see that happening. The ground level clearance, the whole point of a hotshot rig is that you can load equipment and vehicles from the ground. Can't do that on a rig, unless you've got one of those low boys that disconnects from the front. That's where we fill that niche in the market. We can roll a vehicle onto the trailer and strap it down and get gone. And if you drive a semi, there's a lot more clearance under the trailer than there is on a hotshot rig. And it's like that intentionally. Smaller tires so that the deck is lower without having to disconnect from your truck to load equipment from the back. The versatility of the equipment it's just designed to be that way, but the trade-off is it's lower to the ground. So you have to watch your clearances everywhere you go. And it's actually can be harder to turn than a semi truck. You need space to get around, and people that haven't done it, if the experience is in a semi, not a good fit.
Yeah. What you think? What you think, Jan?
Well, I would say when I started, I didn't have a plan on expanding. This is my little gig.
Right.
And as of now, there's no chance in hell I'm going to expand.
No.
I made a mistake. I had my trailer. I loaded at a company where you loaded inside. There was a small incline going up to the warehouse. First time I loaded, up the ramp, inside, loaded, tapped, out again. The second time I got sent in, I had mounted toolbox underneath my trailer. The floor were half an inch taller than the ramp driving up. That half inch, that was enough. It caught the bottom of both my toolboxes under the trailer.
Oh, shit.
It's on me.
Right.
There's one to blame. That's me. I cursed about it, yeah. But at the end of the day,
First time I saw your boxes, I said, "Damn, you damaged your box." Jan was like, "No shit."
No, but the thing is, I learned my trailer from the ground to the deck is 36 inches.
Right.
Yeah.
And I only have one place under that trailer where I can mount toolboxes.
There you go.
That's where they're mounted.
Yeah.
So I went out and I got made a chain rack that's going to go on the backside of the neck. So I'm going to have all my other crap in the toolbox on the trailer. Nothing underneath.
Yeah.
It cuts to clearance.
Well, Rob, what you think, buddy?
Don't be discouraged by this. I know it sucks and all, but it's a learning experience. It's like Robert just said. This was a mismatch. But going forward, we got to figure out how we can catch that mismatch before we get into all this craziness and nightmare scenarios. But there's people out there that want to get into this and they want to learn and don't get discouraged. Just keep your head up. I know this is a bad experience and all that, but keep doing what you're doing and you just learn. Now you know that to ask questions. And collectively here we all have a lot of experience. But remember, there's always every day there's something to learn. Don't just because you have a bunch of experience, I know it all and can't nobody tell me nothing. No, there's always something that you can learn every day.
Yeah, I learn every day, brother.
Yeah.
And that speaks to the character too. Interviewing somebody if they're like, "Well, I know everything about this." It's like, that's a big red flag.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'm going to come over here to Miss Mila real quick. Do we have anything? Any comments? James, how you doing, brother? You can't judge what you don't know. Bryan, don't beat yourself up. No owner's immune. Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate it, but I do. I beat myself up a little bit because I should know better. I saw something. I saw something that I thought was going to be an easy deal, and yeah, it just kicked me. So you can't teach. Learn. You're absolutely right, Michael. Michael, common sense is not that common. It is not that common. Is that what is? Hell yeah, Robert! I'm going to have to get the damn truck fixed now. God bless it. Hey, this is Robert, man. He's hanging down in Florida, just fishing and living the life, all retired out. Yeah, baby. I'm glad you're here, buddy. But yeah, I got the new Valance in. You know, I'm not going to let that truck sit there and be damaged. I got the new Valance in yesterday. Yeah. By the time you paid shipping on that thing, it was almost $500 just for that. So it doesn't take much if you keep your equipment up and like it's supposed to look. It doesn't take much to spend a couple grand. So that's in. Now I've got to go fix that. All right, Michael. Proud to say, during my first conversation with Bryan, and with zero experience, I said I don't want to go to urban city centers like New York City. With no experience, you don't need to go there.
Yeah.
You know, look, dispatch can only hand you what's available. If there's nothing available out there that's not going downtown New York, then you're going to sit a minute, or you're going to have to deadhead to a better spot. But listen. Understand this business is this. I don't run your business. Okay? I'm in charge of your safety and your legality. That is what I'm in charge of. Your business is your business. If you turn down every load, it just is what it is. You just turn down all the loads, you're not going to make any money. So you have to be smart about what you are doing. And if you truly have no OTR experience, you have no load securement experience, you have no business experience, and what little bit of CDL experience you have is driving around the block at the house every day, guys, you're in for a rude awakening. Okay? In for a rude awakening. All right. Anything? James, you guys sub out loads to other carriers? We do not, sir. That's called double brokering. We don't do that. We are done for the evening. I can't see Roman. I can't see Robert, but I can hear
it got
you.
dark out here.
Yeah. All right. So, Jan, thank you, sir. I truly appreciate you guys being here. Robert, Moses, I'm going to bring you guys off for now. Love to have you back at another time, hopefully under better circumstances. But yeah, we're going to go, and we will. Where'd Robert go? I know he's here. I don't see him now. Oh, he's below. I see. Robert's hiding down in the bottom. All right, guys. Love your family. That's all you got. So this is a lesson learned, and I hope to God that you guys paid a lot of attention to it, because it doesn't take but a minute to lose everything you've worked for. Now, everything I've worked for, I'm very proud to have it, and I take pride in it. But just like that, it can be gone. If that box truck would have hit the back of that trailer, we'd have had fatalities. And guess whose fault it would have been? It would have been the driver's fault. And nothing you can do about it. Love you, family. It's Bryan with DD214 Transport. Like, subscribe, hit the little bell for notification, and we will see you next week. See ya.
Jeans and a 4x4, cruising down to your front door. From the closest pack and a whiskey neat, some dive bar right up the street. I'm a good old boy and a country star. No one else can go this far. I'm rowdy rough, big and grown. I get her done all on my own. I'm a good old boy and a country star. No one else can go this far. Come on, babe, and go with me. Riding high, living free. Don't ask once and don't think twice, 'cause baby, I'm living the life. I'm a cowboy hat, a ripped up shirt, tractor pulling out in the dirt. Hot cup of coffee with a cigarette, pretty little thing sitting on my hip.